In this video, we're talking all about Universal. We got Mr. Theme Park Wizard in the house and the Italiano. This is an all West Coast edition of OG 55. Let's get it.
I ain't got nothing to say but West Side.
Welcome aboard, everybody, to another episode of OG 55. We're talking all about Universal. Today, we're talking about Fast and Furious Supercharged. We're talking about Epic Universe expectations. We're also going to talk about that Shrek 5 trailer that's been all the buzz on social media. Before we get started, Mr. Wizard, it is good to have you back on, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing very well. Today, I'm actually wearing my anti-social social club, and my friend actually gave me this, but I used to see these before the pandemic at Disneyland all the time. I never knew what this was. I thought it was an actual club until I realized it was a brand. So when my friend actually got my roommate, he wears this. I'm like, oh my gosh. And he has an extra one. So he just gave it to me. But now every time I wear this, I think of Disneyland, because I don't know if you guys remember, but these used to be all over Disneyland for some reason. I don't get it.
Oh, all over. And I even see like TikTokers and like creators like with the shirt on while they do content. And stuff. They're everywhere, absolutely everywhere.
That's probably why, because majority of my TikTok videos, I have my shirt off.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. The nice manly chest hair, the Italiano way. There. You got to step up your chest hair game, Wizard. You know,
I know. I only have two.
You can't let this guy beat you on that. You can't let this guy beat you. But Mr. Wizard, you know, from what I understand, you're a travel advisor. You do a lot of content. Where can everybody find you on social media, and how can they use you to book their trip?
You can go ahead and find me on Theme Park Wizard everywhere. You can also find me on my second channel, which is all about positivity, because no one speaks on that channel. It's about beautiful sights and sounds of theme parks, Theme Park ASMR. And you can also book your trip with me at ebecker at windsandeasttravel.com. Epic Universe single day tickets are coming next month. So you want to email me or DM me on any one of those apps I just mentioned, and we can get your single day ticket in the hotel ready to go.
Let's do it. In the description down below, I'll be linking all of Wizard's contact information. Make sure you hit this guy up. Now, speaking of ASMR, we have a very much an ASMR fan over here, Mr. the Italiano, George. Have you checked out Theme Park ASMR Wizard channel yet or not yet?
I haven't yet, but I definitely have to check it out because I am a fan of ASMR. I'm very meticulous though of like the content of like how ASMR is used, because it could be done very well or it could be very obnoxious. So
I can tell you the obnoxious one, when people go like this, the chips. I hate that.
Yeah.
I'm like, my gosh, shut up.
I'm the same way. Like, this is supposed to relax me. It's waking me up. It's not putting me to sleep.
There you go. Mr. Italiano, where do you find you on social media, sir?
Absolutely. You can find me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Disney George. You can also find me on Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky under the Disney Italiano. And of course, you can find me right here on my home base on Orange Grove 55 with Citrus Corner, with all that sweet, juicy, but sometimes sticky Disney news and info. And also definitely check out my brand new YouTube channel, sister channel to Orange Grove 55, Citrico Central. There
he is. We have a couple videos, or 3 videos now up there. 2 in-park vlogs, and 1 we just basically just sat and talked at the bar, pretty much. And I was like 3 drinks in, so I was kind of tipsy, so it was fun. All right, let's rock and roll, boys. Here we go. Universal Studios Hollywood announces closing date for Fast and Furious Supercharged. This is courtesy of TravelPulse.com. Universal Studios Hollywood announced that its Fast and Furious Supercharged experience will close to the public on March 10th. Coming up like in 2 weeks. To help fans of the Fast and Furious franchise, Universal Studios is giving visitors one last chance to enjoy the world famous studio tour attraction before it shuts down forever. The attraction debuted in 2015. It's a decade now. That's crazy. As the grand finale of the studio tour. Mr. Theme Park Wizard, you are the Universal expert. What are your thoughts on this? And any rumors also on what might replace it.
No, it's funny because that picture that they chose is from Florida, but it says coming 2018 over there. That's hilarious. But I'm sure
people really care.
I know. But George, aren't you gonna be so sad you won't get to see Vin Diesel hang from a helicopter anymore? Where's Webber? He should have been on here.
I might have to go just one more time just to watch his wrists do a 360.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
And then those iconic lines that "Come on, Cookie Puss."
Exactly. I just like it just for the club girls. You know what I'm saying? You know, just dancing in the club.
They'd be better if they didn't be better. They'd be better if they didn't look like this. They look like flats from SpongeBob. They're like total 2D, 2D. Like what? I can look right through these.
Although for nostalgia purposes, if they came out with a shirt that says Cookie Puss on it, I would buy it.
I would too. They should make a cookie named Cookie Puss.
Absolutely.
Have a cookie with cat ears.
If anyone from Crumble Cookies is watching this, any executive?
Yes, please.
There you go. There you go.
Cookie Puss.
There it is. There it is.
Yes. So it's closing in 2 weeks now. Apparently, so I was talking with a lot of people. It was a surprise because we all thought it was going to close, but I thought it was going to close like later, like when the coaster's close to opening. And then apparently a lot of people inside the company did too. But no, they said we're closing it now, and you know what? You're gonna just deal with it, and everyone's like, "Heck yeah, woohoo!" But now looks like I heard a couple things from several people. I heard it was rethemed into a train station that will eventually accommodate the Hogwarts Express in some kind of Harry Potter expansion, the Big Falls Lake area. Then from one person, like yesterday, who was actually they're all pretty good people, so it's very hard to see which one's right. But one person said it'll just be rethemed into something else using the same building. But no matter what, it looks like they're going to use the same building. But a lot more reliable people, have been saying the train station, the Harry Potter situation, versus just a retheme to some other screen thing, which makes sense. Into something else, because someone who works on the studio tour told me that just like in Orlando, it looks like they may retire the 3D from the tour in general from Kong. So it'll be King Kong 2D like in Florida. And I guess it makes sense because without, right now I feel like the 3D is surviving on the studio tour because there's 2 3D attractions, but with Supercharged, you just have one, and it's a lot of money to clean the glasses, and I guess. So it seems like they may be retiring the 3D. So which, if they do that, it might lead more credence to those other rumors that whatever replaces Supercharged will not be 3D and more likely maybe the train station. That'll be pretty good because, nice Harry Potter expansion. Also to be a reason why they closed it so early, because you think maybe it would stick around till at least, Fast and Furious opens, right? But no, it's like they're still like almost a year out. And, but if they get started early on this expansion, they can open in 2028 for the Olympics, if that's what it is. So very interesting stuff.
I mean, if they wanted to help the problem with the 3D glasses, there's the good old Hawk Tui.
There it is. Yeah, I like that idea, Wizard, though. I like that idea of a Harry Potter expansion. I think that would be really good. I feel like with Universal Hollywood, Universal's taking this property very seriously right now. There's a lot of cool stuff on the horizon with the hotel. They're doing a lot over there at City Walk, what have you. There's always rumors of like a Nintendo expansion. There's been rumors for a long time now for like what's going to replace the Mummy. I feel like Universal has kind of seen like Disneyland Resort and the potential there with this California market, which is good, which is really, really good. I hope it's that Harry Potter stuff, man. I hope we get that train. That would be incredible, absolutely incredible. So yeah, we'll see
if it was the train, it would be that would be the end point. The beginning point would be the current studio tour spot. See, which connects for anyone that hasn't been. It's the studio tour is right behind Hogwarts, so it's kind of the 2 Harry Potter lands would be somewhat connected and pretty close to each other if they went that route.
Nice. Now there are plans, from what we understand, right? If I'm not mistaken, to move the studio tour to the lower lot, I believe.
Yeah, the tour should move to the lower lot because 1, that's what I've been saying for a while. 2, I've heard from 2 different people that the Fast and Furious coaster cannot open or run, or the studio tour basically that what that timeline road goes too close to the tracks for Universal's I guess lawyers. They said it's too dangerous there because the coasters will be spinning. You never know, someone may it's too close. They don't want an accident, so the studio tour wouldn't use that road. So it would start at the bottom and then just kind of go up through the back lot that way and go back to the bottom. So if true, that means the studio tour would have to be relocated by 2026 to the lower lot.
Okay, that's interesting.
Are pretty close, to get that ready.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. And this is really good. This is a great move because obviously Supercharged is arguably one of the worst attractions, I think.
I'd say the worst.
Yeah.
And when have you seen an executive apologize for something before? The fact that they apologize for making it, that's pretty wild.
That is absolutely insane. But I do respect that, though. The fact that they did that.
It's good on them, but I was like, that's crazy.
That is wild. That is wild. Yeah, no, it's great news they're getting rid of it. Obviously, what we're getting as a replacement, that badass coaster. Wizard and I, we're not real big coaster junkies, but for the coaster junkies out there, like Italiano, this thing is going to be insane, dude. It's going around the escalators, right? I mean, this thing,
and for like us, OG, who people probably won't ride it, it'd still be pretty cool to in that overlook section by minions to just go out and just watch it do its thing, and see all the people screaming. That'd be like it's a gorgeous view there. It'd be great. Chef's kiss.
Yeah, so it's definitely a good trade-off. And look, Universal Hollywood has sort of been overlooked in the coaster community, right? There's not a whole lot of coaster stuff over there at that park. This is going to put Universal Hollywood on the map specifically for coaster enthusiasts. This thing is going to be crazy. I mean, do you think it's possible this thing is going to be more popular than maybe the Velocicoaster, Wizard? Do you think it's going to?
I think so. It's supposed to go faster. It's supposed to go 73 miles per hour, which is to be 3 miles per hour faster than the Velocicoaster, and have some of the same elements. But keep in mind, these elements, like the Velocicoaster elements, but then you add a little controlled cosmic rewind spin to it, so it'll make it even more intense than the Velocicoaster.
Plus, just the location of the coaster itself.
And you'll get beautiful views from the coaster. That'll be insane. Especially at the very top there, when you go over the escalators at one of the tallest points. Imagine the view. You can probably see your house from there, OG. If you look over to the left-hand side, you'll see I live there.
I'm right there, man. Yeah, probably good. We're pretty. Both of us are pretty close to uni. Yeah, it's crazy. And you're right. And Wizard, I know you haven't been on Cosmic Rewind yet, but I'm telling you, man, that controlled turn in certain spots, those G-forces hit so crazy. And going 70-something miles an hour, that's going to be out of control. George, I mean, ready, bro? Hey, you're going to white knuckle that shit the whole way, dude.
Yeah, that's right up my alley. As I said, I am a coaster king. I am a thrill enthusiast. So,
just George, let me tell you something. If fingers crossed, if for some reason I get invited to the media preview and Elizabeth can't come, well, you'll be next on my list because I won't be going on that thing. I'll need someone to go on it for me. So you'll be next on my list.
I will gladly be your guinea pig.
Good.
There is. His chest hair will be blowing in the wind. ASMR style.
That's right.
I will say I am excited for if it is the case that they are getting the Hogwarts replacement for Supercharged. Another IP that kind of crossed my mind, which they kind of hinted at it a little bit, would be Wicked.
Yes.
I would love for them to incorporate something of Wicked. I mean, they're already bringing the characters for meet and greet for the was it the Fan Fest?
Yeah, the Fan Fest nights. Yes.
Yeah.
Smart. Smart.
And Wicked also, has a train, so they can still do the train thing and theme it as the Emerald City train and make it the Emerald City if they were to do a Wicked spot over there. I watched the movie 2 times, and each time I was like, ooh, theme park land. They can make 3 different themes. We can do like a Harry Potter thing. You can make one theme park land to Shiz University. Shiz, not shit. And then you can make one theme park land to Emerald City, and then one theme park land for Munchkin Land. They can do like a whole, what they're doing with the Nintendo and Potter, with multiple lands at different parks. They can do. Wicked has so many great settings. You can easily do the same thing.
Oh, absolutely.
I do feel like Wicked is definitely going to come to Universal Orlando, and I still think they'll utilize it for both coasts because with the well received that the first film got, people are looking forward to part 2, and so I think it is a very whimsical kind of land and everything with the characters. And honestly, I think that could be part of the Epic Universe expansion because they think they have an expansion pad like set.
Yeah, they have a couple, and that could be Universal's answer to Universal has like a lot of little boy franchises, right? Well, now this could be Universal's princess franchise with their
Right.
Glinda and Princessy. So because Disney's a lot of princess heavy, and then they got Marvel and Star Wars to balance it out, and Universal's a lot of boy heavy. So now that they can get some feminine stuff to balance it out, and then that'll be everybody wins, more guests.
Yes, absolutely. And that's the thing. It's like, you're right, Wizard, where this is a very whimsical, and George, you mentioned it, very whimsical franchise. It gives Universal a chance to sort of tap that market a little bit more now. And they kind of started doing that. They kind of started tapping into Disney's market, I think, with Wizarding World too. Because Wizarding World is very whimsical, very magical. Very different than the princess movies, but still along that same sort of realm of like magic and mystery and all that. So yeah, I think it's a smart move. I think that this movie did amazing. Obviously, they're going to do a part 2, I believe. So this franchise has a lot more life in it. I would go all in on it. Epic Universe, IOA, whatever they want to do with that, I think there's endless potential for it. So
and Wizard, they confirmed the title. It's Wicked for Good, right?
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. So now let's dive in. Let's pivot now to let's talk about some Epic Universe, because the fandom.
Wallin Ballin, where you at? Wallin Ballin, where is he? Where is he walling?
He's walling and he's balling, bro. He's busy walling and balling, So Epic Universe, right, is coming, is opening in a few months. George and his lovely fiance Abigail will be going on opening day. Wizard, you're going opening month.
Yeah, well, I was, but now I'm gonna go either Thanksgiving or January, February of 2026.
Okay, interesting. So this park is opening, and honestly, there's a lot of good here in this park. I love the Dark Universe stuff. Actually, the Dragon stuff has really impressed me a lot. There's a lot of great stuff here. Wizard, I want to ask you, because the we talked a little bit about it via text message today. The expectations, and it kind of ties into the Shrek trailer that we'll talk about in a little bit too. But fans kind of go overboard, right? And hey, look, Wallen, cool guy, right? Cool guy. But Wallen gets a little crazy. He gets a little crazy.
This is Epic Universe.
Eighth wonder of the world kind of vibe, right? This thing's gonna walk on water kind of energy, right? Like, I think the expectation game, we talked a lot about it here on the channel and what have you, is unfair to Universal. And I think it's unfair to Universal because the expectations are so insanely ridiculous for this thing. Like what people are putting on, what they're projecting onto this park, it can't live up to that. Okay, this park is going to be a fantastic park.
Any park can.
No, exactly. Disney couldn't live up to these expectations. Exactly, Wizard. And that's why I'm saying I think it's very unfair, the expectations. For example, right, the Donkey Kong coaster, which looks like a really cool, I would say, Slinky Dog tier sort of. Right,
a nice like in between family coaster,
exactly.
Theme, not too fast, but highly themed. Little some thrilling in the up in there, but pretty much themed all the way.
Exactly. But fans went for like 2 years. Fans went overboard with that. Like, oh man, it's gonna change everything and da 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 da. It's like, see that it's a great coaster, but you're setting this thing up for disappointment.
The video from Japan came out, and everyone goes, "Yeah, well, that's it." I'm like, "Yes, that's it." I mean, if you saw it under construction, you see when it's not that big, you can see it from the aerial photos too. What else? What do you think it was gonna do? Like 5,000 loops and Rise of the Resistance coaster style? Like it is a children's coaster. It's a family children's land.
Exactly.
Again, expectations. Also, again, people judging the thing with the video, just like what they did Tiana's with the video. I can't stand that. just write it first and then make a judgment.
Exactly. Or if you're going to judge the video, at least acknowledge I'm judging the video, but I'm going to hold my final opinion until I write it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, at least acknowledge that, hey, my opinion, for example, Mario Kart, my opinion going into Mario Kart, I didn't have really much interest in it. I wrote it and I loved it. And, you know, you have to be able to ride things and experience it and adjust your opinions based on what you experience. Yeah, it's fine to have like a preconceived opinion beforehand going in, but you have to actually experience it yourself and then make your final vote on it, right? You can say a movie sucks. It looks like it sucks from the trailer, but if you see it, it might be really, really good. You know what I'm saying? So, so people got to do that. But George, what say you? Like expectations, Epic Universe? I mean, do you think the fans are kind of overdoing this?
Yeah, absolutely. From the very beginning, you know, they're saying like this is going to be the park of all parks. They're going to bring Disney to its knees. You know, this is going to be the next generation of theme parks, which there are elements in the park that are going to be brand new, state of the art. I mean, we looked at those monster audio animatronics. They look phenomenal. I mean, like I think some of the best audio animatronics any theme park has produced, but that gives, you know, other theme parks a way to say, hey, you know what, if they can use this kind of technology, let's update ours, you know, so it's good for all.
Right.
But to say that it's going to be the best of the best, it's not fair to Universal, you know, because then the expectations of everybody going in, it's like, okay, we did the best we could, but all of you are putting it like so high on a pedestal that unfortunately it's not as high as what you think it is. The stuff is great, but not to the level that you're thinking it is.
Right. And even if you were to put that same expectation on a Disney thing, Disney wouldn't live up to those expectations. And that's why it's so unfair. And that's why we're like, that's the thing.
Unless it's coming out of Japan.
Well,
yes.
Well, they're like an advanced civilization. They're like 20 years beyond everybody.
They're not even on this planet. They're like their own thing.
See, now if Universal hired Japan to build Epic Universe, then I would be worried.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be a really, really fantastic park. I really do. Yeah. Now, look, is it going to be perfect? No, sorry, Wallen Ballin. It won't be perfect, but but it's going to be a fantastic park. It's going to be a really, really fun place to go and visit. I think families are really going to enjoy it. Go ahead, Wizard.
I was saying, yeah, you know, it can't be perfect. No, nothing can be perfect because it would be actually bad if it was perfect. You know what? If it's perfect, then there's no room to improve. Like if it's so perfect, then why expand? Because it's just perfect. You know, the expectation is too high. Also, I do hope that, and I know I probably won't get my wish, but when the attractions open and they break because they're all new and they haven't handled 1,000 guests per hour, and everyone goes, "Oh, why did this thing break?" and everyone complains, I'm gonna be upset. Oh, I won't be upset. I'll just be annoyed because it happens all the time. Whether it's Rise of the Resistance or the new Monsters ride, it's like, yeah, you know, the ride's supposed to handle all these people. Why is it breaking? And people are gonna say that no matter what. But it's interesting. I actually want to quickly tell you, Doctor, the OG 55. I'm gonna say George, but both of you about the Monsters attraction. But particularly OG because of the claustrophobic thing. Not only will it be more open, right? But this next generation system will have a different loading system. We'll have like a turntable. You know how Grizzly River Run loads in that big circle? It'll be like that, right? Which allows like guests, like cars to go behind the loading station. So if someone can't load fast enough, they don't have to stop the ride as much. So they shouldn't have, I mean, like Forbidden Journey kind of stops sometimes and they press the stop button. They shouldn't have that on Monsters. It's being designed to not periodically stop. So it should help with people like you who are not claustrophobic, who aren't just stuck there. So you should not be stuck on your back. All, designed to not do that. And there will be like no screen table, so it shouldn't be nausea. It's mostly animatronics and screens in the back. So this next gen system, good job on Uni and Kuka, who designed it, for fixing some of the issues with the Forbidden Journey with the claustrophobia and the stopping and the nausea. So that should be a fun ride, and also increase capacity because it shouldn't stop as much. So that'd be nice.
Yeah, no, 100%, and that's awesome. That's awesome, and I like your point, Wizard, about not wanting things to be perfect.
Mhm.
I've noticed for me, like personally, for Disney, right? On the Disney side of the equation, I've
Mhm.
always been more excited about DCA and their expansions
Mhm.
because that park is far from perfect. And it's more
Mhm.
exciting to sort of like see that park evolve and grow and get better.
Mhm.
Disneyland's already like super like A+ student kind of. It's kind of boring. Oh, another
Yeah.
e-ticket for
Yeah.
Disneyland. Who
But
cares?
even then, for Disneyland, right? If it's so perfect or when it's so good like that, it's hard to determine where to put said new ride because you're like, ooh, I can't take this out because people will go crazy. Ooh, can't do this because people will go crazy. Ooh, I can't take this out. I can't change this. So it's much harder. DC it's much easier because there's so many areas that you can just move, like Hollywood Backlight, you can demolish that. The Goofy Sky School can demolish that. There's someone it's easier to put things there because people are not as attached to it
Right.
as Disneyland, where Disneyland will get an uproar and it's because things are look at this hashtag save Magic Kingdom. That stuff. It's you can't do anything with that because it's too good. It's too nostalgic. So that's why these
Yeah.
secondary parks are like I agree, much more exciting to see what's coming new because then you get then they have the latest and greatest stuff, and then you're like,
Yes.
wow, look how modern this ride is. Oh, it's so cool, And Disneyland's hard to have that because it's too much nostalgia and too much perfection,
Yeah.
throughout the whole park.
Yeah, well said, well said. And you also touched upon things breaking. And here's the thing, you're absolutely right. It happens with Disney, it's going to happen with Universal. This is the thing. There will be issues. And there will probably be issues for maybe a few weeks, maybe even a month, right?
Mhm.
That's what this is. It's a learning process. There's going to be operational issues, I'm sure,
Mhm.
right? In the beginning, because they're going to have, like you said, Wizard, people for the first time, thousands and
Mhm.
thousands of people, and they'll learn from that and they'll adapt.
Mhm.
That's what this whole thing is about. You know what I'm saying? Nothing is set in stone. Go ahead, George, you're on mute, brother. You're on mute, brother. George, you're on mute.
Shit.
No, it's shiz.
Yeah,
Shiz.
Yeah, I expect me going opening day, even though they're doing team member previews and soon annual pass member previews and everything, but for opening day, that's going to be open to everyone and their grandmother. I expect operational issues. I expect issues with the rides. I'm curious to see how Universal handles that. I'm actually intrigued by that because I want to see how this park is going to maneuver because it's a very different layout of a theme park too than any of the other ones. Because from my understanding, Wizard, correct me if I'm wrong, is it one way in, one way out with the portals? Or
Yeah, you'll be able to go one way in and then there's one way in the portal and then there's an exit portal or exit pathway to each side. So but you'll only be able to go in the portal and out the exit pathway. That's what's happening there.
Interesting. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's never been done before, so I'm sure, obviously that won't be perfect. You're like, ooh, how does this work? How many people do I let into the portal at one time? Is it too crowded? Do I have to close off the land? Because I know Alicia Stell was talking about this a while ago. I think Face ID will be pretty big at the park, and they might use Face ID to like scan you in or scan your ticket, but also like for the lands, like they might have to they might close the land like Super Nintendo if it's too busy, and they might just hold you on the portal there, and then different things. So it'll be very interesting to see what they determines too many people, what they and that's what they did with Super Nintendo World here actually in Hollywood. I remember during the soft openings, I went to about almost every soft opening, and you can tell they capped off their people at different times each day when they determined too crowded. They took lots of surveys. They said, "Oh, was this experience too crowded?" And the next day they let fewer people in. So I'm sure they'll do the same thing at Epic. But that process will probably take all summer long.
Do you think that they'll have like a standby queue if it is overcrowded for people to even get into the portal? So they'll have like a line to get into the portal, and then whatever you want to do inside, then.
It's interesting you asked that because I actually saw on Twitter and someone pointed out that every single ride, it might just be the app because the Epic Universe app just got it added to the app here, but every single ride apparently has the virtual line tag underneath it. So maybe they'll do virtual queue for the portals and rides themselves. And maybe that's one of the things they'll be testing out because every ride has that. So, that'd be very interesting to test out. Because they've never done it before. I don't even know what the capacity of the park could be. Like
that would be interesting. Yeah, if they did a virtual queue for the portal itself, not the
Mhm.
ride, and then
Yeah.
whoever gets into that virtual queue,
Yeah.
once you're in there, then you could just go into a regular standby line because then they cap off the capacity.
That's smart.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what happened. And also, people talking about expectations sky high. Well, let's take through. I did some math the other day. Simple math. So the budget for the park.
Congratulations.
You're welcome. I got a C in math all my life, so it's pretty good.
Hey, don't feel bad, bro. I'm the same way. I was like a C student in math. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's why I said it. I barely skinned by the skin of my teeth.
But so this park, and you can see it in the earnings reports when they report. They spent about $1 billion each year on the park. It's about $7 billion. Now, people could be, oh, that's too low. Oh, well, that's too high. I think it's just right because if you look at Shanghai Disney, that was $6.5 billion, right? But that was in 2016.
Right, it's a decade ago.
That amount now is over $8 billion. So really, Epic Universe is cheaper to build than Shanghai Disneyland. So that's when people start setting expectations. You should look at Shanghai Disneyland, which aesthetically, I think most of it, I think more of Shanghai Disneyland looks more beautiful than Epic Universe, at least to start, because of the gardens, the castle. So again, it can't be the best park ever because it's not even the most expensive one ever. Shanghai Disney's more money and looks are a little bit better to start. So people, again, when you set expectations, just think of that. $7 billion is like a nice mid-range, like a lot of budget. A lot of budget went to the rides and stuff, but it's not like the best thing. Every land's like, not like each fence is $1 million. It's like an average budget,
Right, exactly. And Wizard, this is the thing I said about Avengers Campus too, right? Avengers Campus, a lot of fans didn't like, or Avengers Hallway as we call it here on the channel, right? A lot of fans don't like Avengers Campus. There's not a whole lot to do. And I get that. There's a lot of criticisms I have with Avengers Campus. But I always called it like a seed planting thing where just getting it built and having Marvel in DCA is the start. Now you can start to expand and grow that as time goes on. It's kind of the same deal on a bigger scale with Epic Universe. The park on opening day is not going to be perfect, but now you have the park there. Now you can, through the years, add to it, expand, add attractions, add new lands, and make it better and better as time goes on. Getting the park built is the hardest hurdle, the biggest hurdle you're ever going to have. Once it's built, now you can really play with it. Same goes for DCA. You know what I'm saying? Getting it done initially was the hardest thing. Once it's done, now we can adjust and reimagine and add to that all day long. So now I want to ask you, Wizard. You said the price tag for Epic Universe, is that also including, because there has to be infrastructure now because it's away from the main core. So
the $7 billion, I were to guess, because they in the earnings calls they said Epic Universe. I feel like that includes buying the land and also the hotels. I feel like Terra Luna and Cella Luna and the Grand Helios was in, because they all count that as Epic Universe property. In the parking lot, then obviously there's some of the budget people don't see, like the animatronic dragons they're building and the animatronics and the rides and stuff. So people think, oh man, it's so much, or maybe think it's a little, but when you really start spreading it out, it's not too much, because things are expensive nowadays, so but that includes I feel like the whole property, except the roads. I think that was the state's money, the Department of Florida, but the hotels themselves, there's 3 of them. That's a lot of money right there, right? The parking lot, the buildings, there's also team member buildings and stuff they built. So a lot of $7 billion really spread out, and then it quickly disappears when you build all this, it's a whole new park. Also, it's a whole new park not attached to the other parks, so it's a whole bunch of new infrastructure, like you said, OG.
100%. And did you say roads? Because where we're going, Wizard, we don't need roads. I had to bring that oldie but goodie back. I had to bring it back.
To 1955.
There it is. Now, Wizard,
and that's a good one. Oh, sorry. Before you, I was going to say Disneyland, right? We all know Disneyland's story. how it opened and like half the like water fountains or the toilet where they weren't working and stuff. Like obviously, people. Can you imagine that opening today like that?
Oh my
People
god.
would be insane. So and
Oh
look
my
how
god.
now, look how just now it looks great. So just gotta get these teams time to grow, as you said.
Well,
With those
Exactly.
And also, too,
Exactly.
Wizard, you had mentioned about with Epic Universe being separate from the rest of the resort. That's going to be very interesting, too, because Abby and I are staying at Cabana Bay, where everything is adjacent. You can walk, so now we have to take the shuttle over to Epic Universe. So that's going to be very kind of telling of how that operates, because even though that's over in Florida, we know over here in California that there's I'm not even going to say the possibility, but down the road, with the Toy Story parking lot becoming the third gate for Disneyland, Disney is going to have to adapt that sort of mechanic, so to speak.
Right. And did you say road? No, I'm not gonna do it again. Not gonna do it again. But you're right, George. I'm very curious because I feel like the setup there could be very similar to like what we have out here in California with the Toy Story lot. And Disney should definitely take a look and see what works and what doesn't work for Universal with that whole process. I know, Wizard, correct me if I'm wrong, they're gonna have dedicated bus lanes for that.
Yeah, they have the dedicated bus lanes for part of the new road. Wink, wink. So hopefully, yeah, it'll be interesting because I think I know Sean really likes the current bus setup, so I hope it does still well, because again, that's a lot of influx of people to one place with a lot of buses from a whole bunch of hotels. So I'm curious how that opening day operation will go. And good thing George will be there, because you better come back and report all of it, George.
Oh, it'll be all documented, and it'll be part of Citrico Central.
The good, bad, and the ugly, all of it.
Yes,
and the perfection.
The perfection. This park better walk on water. I'm telling you right now, guys. but Wiz, I want to ask you. You mentioned earlier on the show the single day tickets. Is that
yes?
What's going on with that? Because I know they were doing the package deals for initially, but now they're going to offer single day.
Yes, I heard that in March they'll finally offer single day tickets. I guess I don't know what they're waiting on for so long. Is they're trying to get as much expensive money as possible. But I guess March hopefully March will be the single day tickets. And the team member previews will start this weekend, and the family and friends will start like in a couple of weeks. So get the ball rolling. AP preview should be in April.
So when you say single day tickets, I'm assuming it would be after the opening and everything, or are they trying to get more people there for the opening?
Well, according to Alicia Stell's podcast, they said that they had just a little bucket of tickets for the opening, the ones already sold, but they have a big chunk of single day opening tickets as well. So you should be able to get a single day opening weekend ticket if you'd like.
That's good, because that's been a really contentious element of the fandom, right? The packaging. So at least they're going to offer that single day ticket. That's good.
And then really also the express and VIP should also come at that same time. So if you want to get an express ticket for the park. So George, and I know you're going, if you want to add an express to your ticket, you should be able to next month.
Yeah. George will be staying in Cabana Bay with his bay. What can you say?
That's right. And he'll also be staying in a cabana, not a hotel. Just a cabana.
Just the cabana. There is. All right, guys. Let's pivot to Shrek 5. Now, this is interesting. I'm not going to play the audio because I don't want to get because I don't want to be that guy. See right here, that guy. Shout out to
OG
Tyler.
doesn't want to go to OG YouTube jail.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go to YouTube jail. I don't want to get deep.
OG, did you say pivot?
I'ma let you pivot.
There we go. I did say pivot. I'll never forget the day we played that, and Wizard was like, "Play that back. I want to see that guy's neck."
Yes, I want to see that guy's neck.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I love it. So this is the Shrek 5 trailer. This was released today, or a teaser trailer, right? Now, look, I'll be real. I'm going to be real upfront. I'm not a fan of the Shrek franchise, but I've seen so much outrage for this trailer, and I don't understand it. But I'm going to kind of play it in the background while we talk about it, but I don't know. People are complaining about the animation style, except for Donkey. Donkey looks the most different.
Mhm.
It looks like Shrek to me. I don't know. What is different about him? I still can't figure out what's different about him.
No, I don't understand. Like, I'm a massive Shrek fan. I really love all of them. I actually just recently watched all of them, and it looks good to me. I mean, the animation itself looks like more, I guess, more brighter at like time of like illumination-y brighter. But I mean, other than that, it looks the same. Donkey looks different, but then again, keep in mind that Shrek's daughter, who's the last baby, she's a baby. So I mean, I assume they want to age up, can't just age the daughter and not age up all the characters. I mean, it looks like Donkey has a couple of gray hairs. It would make sense because he's older, because she's like what, a teenager.
Right.
Shrek may be a little older. So I don't get. People are like, DreamWorks just Donkey or Sonic Shrek. I'm like, whoa, that Sonic, that first one looked pretty different.
Come on.
Third one, right? So
Come on.
this doesn't look like Sonic. I think it looks just fine. I feel like I was the only one excited for the movie because I'm like,
that's going a little bit too far. I mean, the first Sonic, it looked like his mom knew his cousin too well. Like, I mean,
that's crazy.
Well, that's crazy to me because I'm literally looking at these characters thinking like I can barely notice the change. The CGI Sonic, the first iteration of it was drastically different.
Horrible. It was scary. Actually,
do you know why they changed Donkey though? Because OG, you were the influence of that. They gave Donkey your hair.
Oh, that's true. Of course, man. You know, I walked by Universal. I walked by and Donkey saw me. He's like, "Hey," he said, "Brian Roberts, I want hair like that guy."
Yeah, I mean, I think, and I know people were even doing like side by sides, and I was like, he looks the same. I mean, the animation itself. I mean, they did one of them person did side by side from 2001. I want 2025. You think they're gonna look the same? If this guy looked like he did in 2001 and 2025, then people would be like, "Oh, that animation looks horrible, looks cheap." So I don't know what they want, but I mean, Frozen looks different. Frozen 2, I think, looks vastly better animation wise than Frozen 1.
Well, yeah.
Great. I mean, I don't get it.
Well, yeah, our good friend, Mr. Seymour Duck, was talking to us in the DMs. And he was saying the Toy Story franchise, when you look at the animation from the Toy Story franchise, the characters look more polished as it goes.
Mm-hmm.
I see a very similar.
That was like from like 1990. So, I mean,
I would hope.
Imagine if Toy Story 5 comes out and they look like it was back in 1990s. People would be going all over Disney for that.
I actually, in a way, wish that they would update Toy Story in a way, like with today's technology. But when DreamWorks made the announcement that they're officially making Shrek 5, what did fans think that it was going to be? Like, automatically, I already knew I was going into this that they were going to be different looking in a sense of with better technology. So like the last time we saw Shrek, that was back when? That was with Shrek.
Like, I think it was 2010. Yeah, 2010, 15 years ago.
Yeah, come on. It's going to look different. I mean, and when did Comcast buy DreamWorks?
Let's go see. Hold
yeah,
on.
Google that because I'm pretty sure it was after 2010.
Did Comcast acquire DreamWorks?
I believe it was 2011, if I'm not mistaken.
DreamWorks. Okay. Let's see. 2016.
2016. 2016. Yeah. They haven't made a Shrek movie since before Comcast even owned them, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on, it's going to be different. Technology has improved. 2016 is now a decade ago, even pretty much. And look, even with Disney, right? When you have a character, let's say for example, Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse has changed his appearance over the years. He changed drastically for Fantasia when they added the new eyes, and he looks very different. But that's why Mickey Mouse has stayed relevant all these generations, because Walt Disney understood your characters have to evolve with the times. There's a reason why no one cares about Betty Boop, okay?
That's right.
From the 1920s or 30s, you know what I'm saying? And she didn't evolve. No one cares about it now, right? They did DreamWorks did the right thing. You have to evolve. You have to change. It's not even that crazy of a difference. I don't get the outrage. I really, really don't. But to each their own. Let me see. There's also, I mean, this kind of stuff right here is very TikTok-y and stuff, but Am I mistaken? Again, I'm not the biggest Shrek franchise, but isn't this franchise hasn't always been a very meta franchise, very modern? I mean,
Yeah,
the first one,
they're always making fun of things. Like, I mean, they freaking Shrek 2 made fun of the O.J. Simpson police chase. Like,
exactly. So it's like this is to be expected, you guys. Like this is the kind of stuff that I'm expecting to see from the Shrek franchise. It's a very meta, very modern. I mean, the song was from. I'm not really good with anything but except hip hop and K-pop. But was it Smash Mouth who did the song?
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, very modern stuff here. So this is for me par for the course for the Shrek franchise. This is what I would
And
be.
also in the trailer, you can see literally Shrek doesn't even like the TikTok because they're swipe up and they're like, ew. So it's literally that's what Shrek does. He doesn't even like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, did they forget about like we should go watch the other Shrek? I understand Shrek 3 and 4. I liked them, but they weren't like the best. So go back and watch Shrek 1 and 2.
I will
and then,
say nothing against DreamWorks and nothing against Shrek. I'm just so kind of glad to see something else other than Disney getting the heat for something. So go fans.
I know, right?
Go fans.
Well, don't forget, you can always save the Magic Kingdom by doing the email instructions down below and emailing Bob Iger. And maybe they won't fill in the rivers of America. Don't let Shrek distract you, okay, George?
Yeah, stay focused. Eyes on the prize. And Wizard, did you say Bob Iger?
I sure did.
Oh man, Bob Iger. Bob. But yeah, Shrek 5, look, I'll be the first to admit it. I've said it for many years. I'm not a Shrek fan really, but this looks like a Shrek movie. I don't know why fans are upset. I really just don't understand it. It looks like Shrek to me. Donkey looks a little different, but not drastically. It's very subtle. The animation does look better. It's more polished. Yes, it's meta. Yes, there's the references to TikTok or Instagram or whatever it is. But again, this is what this franchise has always been. They modeled Shrek literally after Michael Eisner. Okay,
that's true.
It was literally modeled after Michael Eisner, and it was made to make fun of fairy tales and like modern Disney and all that stuff. So
and also too with Donkey's hair, we don't even know like what is going to go on in the film. Like, what if there's a scene in the movie where he's like, "Hey, you know what? I feel I'm digging a new hairstyle, like kind of in that Eddie Murphy kind of fashion." So it's like we don't know why his hair is like that.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, you never know. Yeah, because I mean, in Shrek 2, he literally became a horse. So he became a white Bronco. Like,
right.
I was owning the trailer. Like, people like, oh my gosh, they changed Donkey, but just watch the thing. Again, this is like the whole bride POV thing. You can, judge the teaser trailer, but don't make a final judgment until you watch the dang movie.
Do you imagine people like going back, like, on how everything was made? Like Wizard, you had mentioned like with like the OJ kind of thing and like Donkey becoming a horse. It's like people would be like up in arms saying, "Oh my God, why is Donkey a horse?" Like it's like, and they'd be like, "Well, watch the movie and maybe you'd find out."
Yeah.
And I really right. He can have George. He can have a different hairstyle. He could have just gone to the salon. Maybe got struck by lightning. Who knows?
Donkey's fucking Eddie Murphy. He can do whatever he wants.
Exactly, dude. Hey, maybe he goes to my hairstylist, Donkey. Right? Hey, shout out to Curtis. No, but
they watched your channel, OG, and they said, okay, let's take the making fun of Disney to the content creation, and said, that OG guy, let's make Donkey after him.
Absolutely. Exactly. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. But you're right. There's a lot of jumping to conclusions with the fandom. And here's the thing. I remember even the lead up to Super Mario, fans were like shitting all over that. I think it was the voice that they were all mad about or something.
Oh yes, Chris Pratt's voice, and I thought he did just fine.
He did great, and that movie went on to make $1 billion at the box office. And honestly, like I said, I'm not a big Shrek guy, but this movie's probably gonna do $1 billion too. People love Shrek.
Yeah, and I mean the people, I guess maybe they don't care, but I was particularly excited that Zendaya is gonna be in the film. Like, oh, I love Zendaya, but the people are too focused on the animation to really care. And also, not just that, the original people are returning. Mike Myers was the last time he did any movies, but he's back. Cameron Diaz just came out of retirement for the Netflix movie, and this that's not exciting to people? Like, I think it's great. Everyone, I still think they should have got the original cast back in Star Wars, like all together for one movie before, unfortunately, Carrie Fisher passed away and stuff, and Harrison Ford's character died. The people know how to care. I think they should do that more often. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
25 years later.
Yeah, no, it's great, and I agree with you. I like the fact that Zendaya is on the cast now. That's pretty awesome. I love her. She's amazing.
She's on fire. Like, I mean, now she's like in Shrek 5. She's Spider-Man 4, the third,
and the Dune, Dune 3,
Dune, yeah, and then the third season of
Euphoria.
I love that show. Like, she's on fire.
She's on fire, man, and she's dating Tom Holland. I mean, dude, she's on
dating
fire.
Spider-Man himself, engaged to Spider-Man himself.
Yes,
he's really climbing up them walls.
Oh yeah, he's really squirting some webs. There
it is. Oh man, Wizard, it is always a good time having you on the channel, sir. We got to have you back on very, very soon. If you can remind everybody where they can find you on social media, sir.
You can find me at Theme Park Wizard everywhere, including Blue Sky, Twitter, Instagram, and Threads. And then you can go book your trip with me to Epic Universe, Universal Hollywood, or Disneyland for their 70th anniversary that starts pretty soon. 3 months. Come on, book your packages, get your hotels, because if you want to see George and his chest hairs, you better hurry up and get out here.
Yeah, exactly. One chest hair for every year the park is open. 70, right, George? And George, where can they find you on social media, sir?
Absolutely. You can find me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Disney George. You could also find me on Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky under the Disney Italiano. And of course, you can find me right here on my home base on Orange Grove 55 with Citrus Corner, with all that sweet, juicy, but sometimes sticky Disney news and info. And please definitely give my new channel, Citrus Central, a peek. We got some great content coming out of the sister channel to Orange Grove 55, and a lot more stuff on the horizon. As I said, I'm going opening day to Epic Universe, going on a Disney cruise, Walt Disney World, going to Fan Fest, Boysenberry Festival at Knott's, the 70th anniversary of Disneyland. Everything is going to be documented.
Can you hear, Wizard, are you hearing all this special access this guy is flaunting right now? What the fuck?
This is just ridiculous. Bob Iger is going to give you some laser eyes just because you're just so special access now.
He's got special access for a special access, dude.
Yeah, like, look, what the heck? I can't believe you're getting all this for free. This is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Absolutely. George, settle down with your special access. Thank you so much for watching this episode of OG55. See you later, Alex.
Thank you for watching OG55. If you aren't already, consider becoming a member today.